A few years ago, while doing some research for a book, I had the opportunity to visit a Wegmans supermarket. And I decided to put one employee in this store to what I consider to be the ultimate test of customer service commitment and store knowledge in a supermarket. That is to ask a random employee where I can find the French fried onion rings. Canned French fried onion rings. Now, do you know why this is the ultimate test of customer service commitment and store knowledge in a supermarket? Yes, you do, because you have no idea where they are. Who said you could never find them? Absolutely. You win a book. You are the winner of Contented Cows Still Give Better Milk. Please see me afterwards. I want to give that to you because you know, like all the rest of you do, but she was courageous enough to voice it, that you can never find these things. Nobody knows where they are. So I go up to this man, Philip O'Meara. He's a sushi chef. And I went up to this man. You may notice he has a very sharp knife in his hand. And I asked him to interrupt his flow, and if he could tell me where I could find the canned French fried onion rings. Some of you are out there saying, what is this man talking about, canned French fried onion rings? But most of us know that canned French fried onion rings exist for one reason, and one reason only, and that is to appear atop green bean casserole, right? In fact, where I come from, it is said that you would sooner make a green bean casserole without the green beans than without the canned French fried onion rings. And so I went to this man and I asked him where I could find them. He slipped off his apron, he slipped off his rubber gloves, his plastic gloves, and he said, come with me. And he took me over 23 aisles. This place is huge. He knew exactly where they were without even consulting a store directory. He got down on the bottom, shelf. They get no respect. And he said, how many would you like? And I said, one. He handed it to me, 89 cents, 3 cents to the bottom line, if you know anything about margins in the supermarket business. On the way back, he said, have you ever been to our store before? This is a man who works at a grocery store, okay, with fish that stink after a few days. He said, have you ever been to our store before? I said, no, I've never been to a Wegmans at all. He said, do you have a minute? Let me just show you some of the specials that we have on today. And he took me to this station. I had my lunch. I had my lunch right there in the store. I was able to eat at this station and that station and this station and all of that. And he was so excited about this store. I thanked him very kindly, and I took the can of onion rings, and I did not have the heart to put them back on the shelf. I was staying with some friends that night in Syracuse. I took them home to them, and I think they made a dandy casserole with them at some point. But so I went out later, because I was supposed to have this appointment at 2 o'clock to meet with the store manager to tour the store. But I had come in earlier to see what I could find out without anybody knowing why I was there. So I asked the store manager, when I came back from my official appointment, I asked the store manager, I said, can you introduce me to any one of your employees whom I would describe as an extra miler? Someone who naturally kind of goes above and beyond, goes the extra mile as part of the natural way that they do their job. And he said, I've got lots of them in this store, but one who comes to mind is our sushi chef. So he took me over to Philip O'Meara, and Philip looked up at me as if to say, oh, you again? And I explained to him why I was there. I came clean. And I said to him, Philip, your store manager has singled you out as someone who goes above and beyond. This is the kind of person we need in every organization. I said, I have experienced that firsthand. Tell me why you do that. He said, there are a lot of reasons, but the first thing that I always tell people is this. And he told me a little of his story, that 25 years earlier, as an 18-year-old recent high school graduate, he had left the Philippines with 6 of his 7 siblings to immigrate to America for new opportunities. One sister, the eldest sister, remained in the Philippines. He came over here. They all settled in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. He met a woman, fell madly in love with her, and her family was from Fayetteville, New York, so they moved up there. He's working at the Wegmans in Fayetteville. The rest of his brothers and sisters are in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 6 hours away. Lo and behold, the long-lost sister from the Philippines announces she is coming to the United States for a visit. She had never been to the U.S. They had never been back to the Philippines in those 25 years. And this was before Skype. So they had not seen each other in all of those years. And so he said, I started trying to figure out how I could spend as much time down in Cherry Hill, 6-hour drive, as much as I could so that I could see my sister and be with her. She was going to be here for 3 months and all this. He said, my manager found out what was going on, and he said, wait a minute, time out. He said, we got a store down in Cherry Hill. Why don't we just plug you in down there for as long as you'd like? He said, they didn't have to do that. There's no manual, there's no policy that says when you have a long-lost sister coming from a foreign country, you are to reassign the person to a store in that area. He said he did this on his own, at his own volition. He said, because they did that for me and other things like it, I'm always doing all I can for them. People who work in your organization will do exactly the same thing. Engagement is personal.